One of the interesting films that I saw at this year Tribeca Film Festival is A Sweet Thing, directed by Alexander Rockville, a very celebrated and skilled independent filmmaker. The director is very famous because of his ability to create colorful characters that are both intricate and flawed, as well as because of his use of classical techniques. Um, mm, uh, you might remember him because of his 2016 films, Little Feet, which was also screened at Toronto Film Festival. The story of that film was about two young children who decided to travel to Los Angeles on foot in order to set their pet goldfish free. For that film, the director used his own child, Nico and Lana. Uh, the same and as similar to that film, this film is a kind of also family affair. Here we have his wife that played the role of a lead actress, and we have also the same Nino and Lana again in the film. It's a film that is being made with use of a small crew from Rockefeller students. He's now a professor at NYU Tisch School, and he was able to get the crew from that school. And he also self-funded, self-financed the project, and part of the money also comes from crowdfunding. And because of this, the director has the ability to have total control and creative control. Sweet Things centers around the lives of two children in contemporary New Bedford. When their father Adam arrested and sent to rehab to dry out, the kid has no choice but to go and live with their mother Eve. The mother has a boyfriend who is very abusive, and that's made the children wanted to leave their mother, as soon as possible. And this happened with the arrival of Malik, another runaway boy. Together they decided to roam the area and free themselves from their parents' watchful eyes. They discover freedom, and this escape somehow celebrates their ability to make poetry and joyful life out of hardship. Their first step into adulthood. This is a film that filmed with a hybrid combination of fiction and reality. It's a film in which we can see actors and non-professionals. And because of the presence of montage, which flicks between black and white, the film has a kind of magical realist dream escape. Here we have a little real sense of place. It is set in New Bedford, but it really could play. It could play out anywhere in United States. And there is even less sense of era. We see that the director is very nostalgic about the kind of analog poverty. I mean that the times before the introduction of cell phone. So we have the children who are mucked about in junkyards and got themselves into puckish scrappers trying to grift $1 or $2 from crusty old caretaker types. The film has a kind of subjective tone that avoids the explanation, and we can see this in several scenes in the film. One of the best examples is the first scene, in which when Adam, their fathers, we see him that he has veers between between tenderness and tyranny. One moment he's gifting Billy, his young daughter, a cheap Colette for Christmas. But the next time we see him, that he's dragging her into the bathroom and cutting her gorgeous hair off. We are not sure why this is happening. We can only say that maybe he's drunk and that's why they do. There is a kind of film has a kind of subjective teenage perspective. in the sense that Rockwell does little to suggest a life outside of what really happens directly on a screen. Rockwell filmmaking is direct and sincere. He shows again great ability in controlling the actors, especially the performance of his young daughter Lana is very out of word. It's a kind of beguiling performance. The use of camera is very good, and Lace Tolbis show his great control of camera with the and the camera is a kind of lovely mobile and has its own kind of character. Because of all of this, I can say that this is a kind of a good example of American independent film that has been produced this year.